Nora, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. All right, so shall we begin?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Nine-time Grammy winner Norah Jones joins me. Norah has sold over 50 million records and has just released a new holiday offering, her first on Blue Note Records, called I Dream of Christmas, and she's here to talk all about it. Congratulations on the new record, Norah, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know, you talked about the some of the inspiration from the recording came from sitting around and listening to classic Christmas albums during the lockdown. I was wondering how much these last 2 years, the events of the last 2 years, kind of made this holiday album, this Christmas album, a possibility.
I think a lot of it. I think being faced with 2021 and no work, no touring, I needed something to look forward to, and I wanted to be creative, of course. And I knew I probably wouldn't be doing any shows, though everybody ended up doing shows this summer, and I had a lot of FOMO. But I had not planned to do any, so I didn't get to do any. But I had so much fun making this album, and yeah, I don't think I probably would have made it right now if it weren't for everything that happened the last couple years.
Yeah,
But I
sorry.
just needed no, sorry, I just needed to lift my own spirits. So a Christmas album sounded like a good way to do that.
It is a great way to do that. You know, there's a great mix of familiar holiday tunes on here and also original compositions. I'm wondering, as a songwriter, does writing a Christmas tune present a different challenge than a normal tune because there's already kind of a built-in expectation about what that tune's supposed to deliver?
There are some difficulties. I mean, for one thing, all the rhymes have been used for all the key words about Christmas. However, there's always something that you can find, like a different corner. I found that the Christmas songs I wrote were kind of weird. Some of them were kind of weird, and some of them were more traditional sounding, and some of them were just out of left field and unexpected for me. And some of them told me how much I'd missed everyone the last year when I had been powering through. I have young kids, so I mean, I've been with my family, but I didn't realize how much I missed my friends until I kind of wrote some of these songs, if that makes sense. I
It
think
does,
that happens a lot in songwriting as well.
it does. And I was going to ask you, because being alone and finding ways to connect, there are themes in a lot of the tunes that you wrote for this recording. And I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if that was to do with sort of what's been going on, or maybe even sometimes the melancholy that comes around the holidays all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Christmas isn't always one thing. It's many things for many different people. It's a time to reflect. Sometimes it's very sad. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's a party. And, I try to encapsulate a lot of different angles, but really, I just try to encapsulate all the things I sort of felt about Christmas.
And what's your relationship with it? Especially, I think all of us feel like, as young people, that's what when Christmas kind of cements its feeling in us. What for
Yeah.
you, was it turkeys and trees and all the things that we traditionally think about the holidays?
Yeah, it was. I mean, my house, it was just me and my mom growing up. And so she worked a lot. And we usually went to my aunt or my uncle or my grandma's house for Christmas. I think we hosted one time maybe. And we went camping a few times for Christmas, just the two of us. Um, yeah, having young kids now, it's like that magic time where Christmas is just so fun. I think I've become more into Christmas the last 10 years because I do an annual Christmas show with my band Puss in Boots. And so that's been really fun. I mean, I never put up a tree as an adult until I was in my 30s. So it definitely has grown into something really special for me. I think Christmas carries with it such a weight of nostalgia for people, no matter if they celebrate it or not, because it's just in your face everywhere you go. And it reminds you of things from your childhood, favorite movies, favorite music. There's just such a wave of nostalgia that it comes with that is so special to people, or sad, but I mean, it's just what it is.
I think, and for me too, as I get cynical, as I get older, Christmas still seems to be hanging in there as far as something that is special and something I want to celebrate.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, yes, there's the commercialization of Christmas and all the things that can be annoying, but I mean, I still love it. I just love it. I just love it. Even songs that maybe get annoying that you hear too much when you're shopping, I still love them. It doesn't matter.
Me too. Um, I would think outside of writing the tunes, the process of choosing some of the classics for the album would be an incredibly fun kind of experience, but also very daunting. How do you approach something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I found a great producer, Leon Michaels. He was an awesome partner for this record. He made it sound exactly like I would imagine, something that I would have never been able to pull off without him. So when we were started talking about it, I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. I only wanted to do it if it felt right and inspired. Finding him was the first step. Deciding on the sort of angle and all the covers was like the second step. And we had the most amazing playlist going back and forth. It was incredible. There's so many great Christmas songs.
Sure.
There's also so many great obscure Christmas songs that nobody's even ever heard that are hilarious, and some are really sad and some are touching. And I mean, you get it deep into like 1960s country music Christmas albums. It's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird place to live in. Duke Ellington Christmas, I mean, that's a pretty magical place to be in. All kinds of things. So we started narrowing down the song choices based on stuff that I just loved and wanted to sing, and stuff that sort of conveyed the right feeling for the album. Once we wrote all these originals, they kind of steered the feeling into the specific zone that we kind of lived in for the album, which was sort of a little melancholy, but trying to find that joy and wanting to get into the spirit. I mean, that's kind of how making the album was, it was March. So it was like, I was in the spirit, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't have been able to do this. But it was about trying to like find it. What is this Christmas album going to be? So a lot of the songs are sort of about that, about missing friends, missing family. So
some of them that you really believed in it and said this is going to be great, and then when you do it, does it not sometimes live up to the expectation of how you heard it in both of your heads, or how you were dialoguing about it?
Yeah, that happens for sure. I think the beautiful thing about recording and making music on a record is that you can try lots of things, and if they don't work, you don't put them on the record. We happened to have a couple songs that were left over that were great, but we just didn't make the final cut, because you're limited to vinyl time lengths. Otherwise you could just put a million songs on it, right? But luckily the ones that we cut get to make the deluxe version, which will come out in December. Yeah.
Beautiful. Norah, thanks for your time. Before we let you get out of here, how are you going to be spending the holidays this year?
At home with my family.
Perfect.
Hopefully we're allowed to let friends in this time, because that's what I missed last year.
Fingers crossed. I hope so too. Thanks for hanging out. Congratulations on the new album, I Dream of Christmas, which is available right now. Norah Jones, thanks.
Thanks.